and I went to the bathroom where I had an active miscarriage.
We're at a Taylor Swift concert with 50,000 women, and you're not prepared for a miscarriage or a pad or an adult diaper to help with a medical emergency.
They did not offer any kind of help or sit me down. They didn't ask me any questions. They didn't ask my name.
The company is called Rogers Communications. You got a media communications team and nobody communicates with the media. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Barrie, Ontario. And folks, by every indication, tens of thousands of people, primarily female, had a great time when Taylor Swift came by Toronto last November to stage 6 sold-out concerts. That is not the case for everyone who attended. I'm with Ashley Kehoe. Ashley had a horrific experience at the Sky Dome, aka Rogers Centre. And what's more, following her dreadful experience, Ashley experienced insult to injury in the way in which Rogers tried to do damage control for what had happened to her. Basically, it doesn't look like Rogers has any empathy. It doesn't look like they care. Take us back, if you can, to that November day when you took your 13-year-old cousin to the Taylor Swift concert. Quite the experience of a lifetime, I understand, from so many of the fans that went there. But then things kind of went sideways, didn't they?
Yes. So during the show, I experienced a miscarriage. And obviously, I have never experienced that before, so I didn't know. I knew what was happening, but not really. I left my cousin in the seats because I didn't want to pull her away. I told her to keep texting me so that I knew that she was okay. And I went to the bathroom where I had an active miscarriage. I was in there for quite a bit of time before I kind of got out of my shockedness. I looked out to see if there was kind of anybody who could help me. I obviously bled through everything I was wearing. I just basically wanted something to help with the blood. So I just put toilet paper everywhere where I could. There's nothing in the bathrooms that I could use. So I walked out and I was waiting for just a staff member who could help me. I did have EMS walk by, so I asked him for help. He was helping somebody else at the moment with an ankle injury, but said he'd be right back. He did get a staff member to walk me to their medical room, and they said that they could provide me at least with some products to help me. When I walked in, they said they had none. They did not offer any kind of help or sit me down. They didn't ask me any questions. They didn't ask my name. Nothing. I just asked if they could offer anything to just help me with what I was going through right now, and they just said they had nothing.
So this is a medical facility at a concert facility that maybe there's, 50,000 so fans there, primarily female, of course. And I think you told me off camera, Ashley, you even asked, do you have at least an adult diaper? But they had nothing to help you. I mean, what was the point of this medical facility to begin with?
I even asked if they had a pad, and they said they didn't have that either. And they told me I could walk down to another level and try there.
You know, that's significant because you told me off camera, someone informed you if you had been further down at the more expensive seats, the quality of medical care is better. Is that a matter of fact?
Yes. So I was told the first floor is like more of a doctor who can help. So I guess that's why they said I could go down and check another level. And I just said, I barely even was able to walk here. Like, I'm not walking any further than what I have to. And I did say, so I just wrap the toilet paper around me then? Is that all I'm doing? And he just said, well, I have nothing for you.
Nothing for you. And of course, the extenuating circumstance, I mean, if you were there by yourself, you could have called 911. You could have gotten an ambulance ride to a hospital. But of course, your 13-year-old cousin, it's something she's looking forward to all year. You can't leave her unattended, obviously. You're her guardian. I guess that played a role in you not seeking outside medical help.
Yes, I mean, I didn't even know. I was in absolute shock. It's never happened. I didn't know. I thought maybe the way he treated me, I thought maybe I was being a baby about it, and I just wasn't. Maybe it happens a lot, and I just didn't understand. So I thought maybe I was just over exaggerating. So I just left. I didn't know. I had no idea. I thought the way he pushed me off, I just thought, okay, I guess I'll just go back. I mean, there was one other person in the room there were two people. There was one person who was helping when I walked in and one person ahead of me. Person ahead of me was in and out super, super quick. He just asked a question. Then it was just me. It's only me in the room. It's not like there was a lineup. It's not like there were other people in the room other than the one other person. And it felt like he didn't care. He didn't ask me any questions. He didn't get me to take a seat. He just, nope, can't help you. And I was just in shock. When I did go into the room, it took 1.5 minutes, they said. So they did go through their footage. They called me back to say that they were going to go through their video footage, see what happened, and get back to me. And they told me that I was in and out of the room within 1.5 minutes. And I said yes, because it only took 1.5 minutes for him to tell me he couldn't help me. And I wasn't going to sit there and argue with him. So I was in shock as well. I know a lot of people did ask why I didn't call 911. I didn't know. And then when he didn't even tell me to or say I can call myself, like there was just nothing. So I walked out.
I just think a venue so big for specifically a Taylor Swift women's concert that you would think to have better care for a legitimate medical emergency.
You had a follow-up. I think this is significant from somebody who is an EMS professional. And he said what happened to you goes against procedure in terms of, well, not only the lack of medical care that was delivered, but the way in which you were discharged, if you will. Can you weigh in on that?
So when I walked out of the room, again, I thought maybe I was just, it happens all the time, and I was just over exaggerating. So yes, I did speak to actually a paramedic who said if I would have walked out, I should have signed stating that I was leaving on my own.
This was really a female-centric event. I would guesstimate maybe more than 90% of the attendees were female. This is being run by a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, namely Rogers. How is it possible to be so ill-prepared for such a medical emergency?
I honestly, I have no words for it. It made me just feel, honestly, like nothing. Like absolutely nothing.
You reach out to Rogers. You want to inform them what happened to you. You want to talk to them about what they plan to make this right. Didn't go that well, did it?
No. They said it was all confidential, that they couldn't tell me what.
Wait a minute. Confidential. You're the person. You're the person this happened to, this tragedy. What do they mean it's confidential?
I had asked for an apology from who handled my situation. They said they couldn't, obviously. I said, okay, I understand that part. But with asking what they're going to do moving forward and what policies, procedures they're going to do moving forward, they said they couldn't disclose that information, and just rest assured they're making changes.
You asked them for another pair of Taylor Swift tickets, this time in Vancouver, because she had obviously left Toronto by this point. And to be clear, you weren't asking for an all-expense paid trip to Vancouver, hotel, airfare, cabs, what have you, just the tickets. And what did the people at Rogers say?
They said they could not, that they were not connected, so would not be able to do that. But also, I didn't get a response till she had finished her shows in Vancouver.
Unbelievable. Actually, that is a lie. I know for a fact because I researched it. Rogers was the promoter for all the Canadian dates. They were running the Vancouver shows. They would have hundreds, if not thousands, of comp tickets they'd be giving out to, contests and whatnot. Why was a pair of tickets for a Vancouver show, why was that such an impossible ask for them?
That I don't know. Like I said, they didn't even respond till after the show. So I feel like they just didn't want to, or maybe they didn't even speak to somebody else about this and were trying to just get me just to go away. Maybe they offered both my cousin and I one Taylor Swift merch item and 4 Jays tickets.
And you told me off camera you're not a Blue Jays fan, right?
I am not a Blue Jays fan. No, I'm not a baseball fan. So those I declined. At first, I did decline everything just because I wanted to just know what they were going to do for other people, and they weren't providing what I had asked for. Later on, I did accept for my cousin and for family members, just because they obviously weren't giving anything else. And at this point, I just wanted it to stop. I just want to know the procedures and policies moving forward for the next woman that this happens to. I want to know that they're going to be taken care of. I feel like they don't want to admit that it was not properly handled. I don't think it's very much to ask for what steps they're going to take moving forward. I don't want anybody to feel the way that I felt when I was there.
But they didn't even offer your money back, did they?
No.
Have you thought about retaining a lawyer? I know that's expensive, but maybe even representing yourself in small claims court.
I thought of it, but at the end of the day, there's nothing I want out of it other than just women not feeling the way I did.
Do you think Taylor Swift or Taylor Swift's people saw what happened to you? And if so, did anyone on that side of the equation reach out?
No one's reached out on that side. There's hundreds of comments of other people commenting for her team and for her and the football teams as well and her friends. And there's been a lot of comments trying to get her attention, but there's been nothing.
Security, how can I help?
Yeah, hi, how you doing there?
Very well.
Fantastic. Yes, my name's David Menzies with Rebel News. I'm just down here to speak to somebody on the media relations team.
Okay, just give me a moment.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone will be out there.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thank
Okay
you.
then. Oh, are you? Oh, you're with security, right?
Yeah, I'm with security.
Okay. Yes.
The only thing I can tell you, sir, we have an email to provide you if you have any information. It's a media.
Oh, I'm aware of that, gentlemen. I've been emailing and voicemailing for 3 days, and I'm on deadline now, so we came all the way down here to pay a house call. And I don't know, I think it's kind of funny that the company is called Rogers Communications. You got a media communications team, and nobody communicates with the media.
We'll do our best. Someone will be down shortly for you.
Oh, is that right?
We're
Oh,
still
well, thank you
working
very
on it.
much. I appreciate that. Anyways, folks, here we are. We've been waiting almost 20 minutes for somebody in the media communications team to communicate to members of the media, but hope abounds somebody will come down. Now, I have sent by email on 2 occasions the questions I'm interested in getting answered. And essentially, it all comes down to why is it that a concert that was so female-centric. I should hazard a guess that more than 90% of the attendees were female. Why was Rogers so ill-equipped to deal with a female-centric emergency? And in the follow-up, why are they telling Ashley that they could not accommodate her request for 2 Taylor Swift concerts in Vancouver? And by the way, folks, she wasn't asking for an all-expense-paid trip, hotel, airfare, cab. She just wanted 2 tickets, and they said that was impossible. But Rogers was the Canadian promoter for all the Taylor Swift concerts. Instead, they offered Blue Jays tickets. Ashley's not a Blue Jays fan. What's the difference? Well, here's the difference. The Blue Jays are not going to sell out this year. That's for sure. So those tickets are essentially worthless if they go unsold. Meanwhile, you know that they're going to sell every single Taylor Swift concert ticket, no matter where the venue. That's what's driving this. And you know, going back to last year, Rogers bought out Bell for the full ownership of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. And that was $4.7 billion with a B. So I think if Rogers has that kind of change hanging around, billions and billions of dollars to virtually control all of Toronto's pro sports franchises, I think they might have a couple of bucks to give Ashley tickets to a concert in Vancouver. Of course, that ship has sailed. The tour is over. In any event, if somebody does come here to speak with us, I am more than happy to get Rogers' side of the story. I've reached out to Rogers by phone, by email, even made a personal visit. They kept us waiting in the lobby for an hour. I think they're having sport with this, which tells you the caliber of company we're dealing with when it comes to Rogers. Now, folks, just prior to deadline, we finally received a response from an unknown Rogers representative. Here, check it out. Quote, "Thank you for contacting Rogers Centre. We empathize with the very sensitive and saddening situation Ashley endured. Based on multiple conversations between Ashley and Rogers Centre staff and our records of what transpired that evening, the account you've described differs, and out of respect and privacy for those involved, we will not be commenting further. Thank you, Rogers Centre Media." End quote. First of all, what privacy? I'm not asking for names. This is a bogus excuse not to comment. And if Ashley's recollection about the events of that terrible November evening differs from what Rogers claims to be truthful, then by all means, don't you think Rogers should make its case and tell us what Ashley got wrong? But they won't. Worst of all, if you read between the lines, Rogers is essentially using very polite language to suggest that Ashley is a liar. I think that's what's known as blaming the victim. This is egregious. This is outrageous. And maybe this is something you need to think about next time you go, say, shopping for a cell phone or a cable provider. Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story, but the fact is we need your help. Unlike the trained seals that work for Justin Trudeau's mainstream media, we do not receive a single nickel of government funding. That's why I'm going to ask you for some help. Can you please go to rebelfieldreports.com? That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation.